Top 10 Drug Wars in the World's Largest Rainforest. Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're uncovering the intense and hidden battles of the Amazon rainforest, where drug wars have left a lasting impact. Stay tuned as we count down the top 10 most gripping conflicts in this vast and mysterious region. Number 10. The birth of the narco-state, the cocaine wars of Colombia. In the heart of the Amazon rainforest, the Colombian cocaine wars marked the beginning of a dark era, where lush jungles became battlegrounds for control over the lucrative drug trade. With the rise of powerful cartels like Medellin and Cali in the late 20th century, the remote areas of Colombia's Amazon region became central to cocaine production and trafficking. The thick foliage provided the perfect cover for clandestine labs and hidden airstrips, turning the rainforest into a dangerous nexus of violence and corruption. The cocaine wars left an indelible mark on the Amazon, where the scars of deforestation and violence remain visible to this day. How did a paradise on Earth transform into a war zone? And what does it mean for the future of the Amazon? Number 9. The shadow of the FARC, guerrilla warfare in the Amazon. The revolutionary armed forces of Colombia FARC played a pivotal role in the drug wars that plagued the Amazon, further entangling the region in conflict. Initially a Marxist guerrilla movement, FARC soon became deeply involved in the drug trade, using cocaine production as a means to fund their insurgency. The Amazon rainforest provided the perfect backdrop for their operations, allowing them to cultivate and transport coca in relative secrecy. The result was a deadly mix of guerrilla warfare, drug trafficking, and environmental destruction. The local communities were caught in the crossfire, with many forced to flee their homes or participate in the illicit trade to survive. The presence of FARC not only intensified the violence in the Amazon, but also complicated efforts to bring peace and stability to the region. As the FARC disbanded in recent years, what legacy have they left behind? And how has their departure changed the dynamics of the Amazon drug wars? Number 8. The silent invasion. Brazilian cartels expand into the Amazon. As Colombia's drug trade began to face increased pressure from law enforcement, Brazilian cartels saw an opportunity to expand their influence into the Amazon. The vast, ungoverned stretches of rainforest offered a perfect haven for these organizations, which sought to control the cocaine and marijuana routes that crisscrossed the region. The rise of Brazilian cartels, such as the Red Command and the First Capital Command (PCC), introduced a new level of brutality to the Amazon drug wars. The expansion of these cartels not only escalated the violence, but also brought new challenges for those trying to combat the drug trade. With the Amazon's intricate network of rivers and dense vegetation, how can authorities hope to curtail the power of these formidable criminal organizations? Number 7. The environmental toll. How drug wars are destroying the Amazon. Beyond the human cost, the drug wars in the Amazon rainforest have also exacted a devastating toll on the environment. The production and trafficking of cocaine and other illicit drugs have led to widespread deforestation, as vast areas of the rainforest are cleared to make way for coca plantations and clandestine labs. Toxic chemicals used in the processing of cocaine are often dumped into rivers and streams, contaminating the water and threatening the delicate ecosystems that thrive in the Amazon. The environmental destruction caused by the drug trade is not just a side effect, it's a deliberate strategy employed by traffickers to evade detection and maximize their profits. As the rainforest continues to shrink, the consequences for the planet are dire. Will the Amazon, often referred to as the lungs of the earth, be able to recover from the damage inflicted by decades of drug-related violence? Number 6. The indigenous struggle. Defending ancestral lands amidst drug wars. For the indigenous peoples of the Amazon, the drug wars have brought an existential threat to their way of life. These communities, who have lived in harmony with the rainforest for centuries, now find themselves on the front lines of a conflict that threatens not only their land, but also their culture and identity. Some indigenous leaders have taken up arms to defend their ancestral lands, while others have sought to negotiate with the cartels in a desperate bid to protect their people. The struggle of the Amazon's indigenous communities is a powerful reminder of the human cost of the drug wars and raises difficult questions about the future of these ancient cultures. How long can these communities hold out against the relentless advance of the drug trade, and what can be done to support their fight for survival? Number 5. The role of corruption. How drug money fuels the Amazon's crisis. Corruption is the lifeblood of the drug wars in the Amazon, enabling the cartels to operate with near impunity in one of the most remote and challenging environments on Earth. Drug money flows freely through the region, greasing the palms of local officials, police, and even military personnel who are supposed to be fighting the traffickers. For the cartels, bribery is just another tool in their arsenal used to secure safe passage for their shipments, silence opposition, and maintain control over key territories. The impact of this corruption is felt at every level of society, from the highest echelons of government to the most impoverished communities in the rainforest. How can meaningful progress be made in the fight against the drug trade when those tasked with enforcing the law are often complicit in its crimes? Number 4. The War on Drugs, U.S. involvement in the Amazon. The United States has played a significant role in the drug wars of the Amazon, driven by its own war on drugs that has spanned decades. Through initiatives like Plan Colombia, the U.S. government has provided billions of dollars in military aid and support to combat drug trafficking in the region. However, these efforts have often had unintended consequences, including the displacement of local communities, the escalation of violence, and the further entrenchment of cartels in the Amazon. U.S. involvement has been a double-edged sword, bringing much-needed resources to the fight against the drug trade, but also fueling a cycle of conflict that seems never-ending. As the U.S. continues to grapple with its own domestic drug issues, the question remains, has its intervention in the Amazon been a help or a hindrance in the long-term battle against the drug cartels? Number 3. The rise of new cartels, a shifting power dynamic in the Amazon. As older cartels have been dismantled or weakened, new criminal organizations have risen to fill a void, leading to a shifting power dynamic in the Amazon. These emerging cartels are often more decentralized and harder to track, making them even more dangerous than their predecessors. They have adapted to the challenges of operating in the rainforest, using advanced technology, forming alliances with other criminal groups, and exploiting the region's complex geography to evade law enforcement. The rise of these new cartels has led to an escalation in violence as they battle for control over the lucrative drug trade. The shifting power dynamic in the Amazon has created a volatile environment where no one is safe, and the future of the region remains uncertain. How will the rise of these new cartels change the landscape of the drug wars? And what can be done to stem the tide of violence? Number 2. The impact on local economies, drug wars, and poverty in the Amazon. The drug wars have had a devastating impact on the local economies of the Amazon, where many communities are already living in poverty. The lure of quick money from the drug trade has drawn many into a cycle of crime and violence, further destabilizing the region. Traditional livelihoods, such as farming, fishing, and hunting, have been disrupted by the encroachment of cartels and the environmental destruction caused by drug production. As a result, many people have been forced to abandon their homes and seek work in the illicit economy, often at great personal risk. The drug wars have turned the Amazon into a land of lost opportunities, where the promise of prosperity is overshadowed by the reality of conflict. Can the region's economies recover from the damage inflicted by the drug trade? Or is the Amazon destined to remain trapped in a cycle of poverty and violence? Number 1. The ongoing battle for the Amazon. Is there an end in sight? Despite decades of efforts to combat the drug trade, the battle for the Amazon continues, with no clear end in sight. The region remains a hotbed of criminal activity, where cartels operate with impunity and the violence shows no signs of abating. The environmental destruction caused by the drug wars has reached critical levels, threatening the future of the rainforest and the planet. The indigenous communities, local governments, and international organizations all have a stake in the outcome of this conflict, but finding a solution that addresses the root causes of the drug trade remains elusive. As the Amazon faces an uncertain future, the question remains, what will it take to finally bring an end to the drug wars? And can the rainforest be saved before it's too late? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please hit the like button and subscribe.